like Three Stooges less one. He covers for two, though.
Okay. Hi, you're good.
Okay, I'm good. We're on the air. Okay, so hi again. It's Rick Deutsch. Should be there somewhere. And just to elaborate a little bit, Bill and I are social friends. Just met at this California Writers Club, and Bill had no friends. His wife said, "Rick, here's some dough. Would you please play with him a little bit?" But as a result of that, just friends, I found out what he did, which is this whole blogging thing that you guys might know about. And what I do a lot is, and I'm going to tell you about Half Dome, which is there later, but I speak on cruise ships. Okay, and I've talked to some of you. I've met some of you before, so hi again. I'm not going to repeat everything, but so I said, Bill, you got to do this cruise ship thing. Well, I don't know. So one night, I guess we're at Marie Callender's, and I said, Bill, show me this blogging world, because I want to get hits as well. So I showed him the cruising thing, and he showed me the blogging thing, and I've actually got four websites. I'm delinquent in a couple of them as far as doing lots and lots of blogs, but a couple others I'm very active with. And Bill learned the speaking on ships, and so he's done 3 cruises in a year. And that's, if you want to talk about how you can get a free cruise for 2 people on ships, it's a good deal. And so we teach that. That's this shirt here. So we have a website. I'm going to show you that in a second. I'm not promoting anything. Tonight's session is to show you how to make some money on YouTube. And I was able to do that with YouTube or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to be jumping back and forth between the big screen. I thought this would be easier for you to watch. But I'm going to have to click it down, and then, because we're recording this, and future generations will get to see how goofy we were in the new millennium here. But then I'm going to go bring some YouTubes up so you can see the actual process here. So, yeah, it's me into here, so I'm right on top of it. That's why I'm sitting here.
They know I forget to push the buttons.
Yeah, I know. We've been through that a lot. I've had to record several webinars because when I go to listen to them, there's no audio. Oh, man. So I'm in a room by myself doing it all over again.
You go like this, you lose your hair.
Yeah, I do it a lot. Chasing parked cars, too. Okay, so just the first slide to orient yourself. As Bill said, I worked at Sun Microsystems for 20 years, which was a big company around here. Many of you probably lost money in their stock because I did. I had on paper in 99, 98, wow. But we couldn't sell it because it was going up $1 a day, literally. I mean, whoa. And then tickle, 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 ride it on down. So I got $9 a share when they sold out to Oracle in 2009. Oh, well, so much for that. But I was set free, and I have had a ball. So if anybody retired in here? Okay, well, retire, because it's nice out here. I'm like a 12-year-old kid. Ride my bicycle today, play with my dog, go to the gym. Well, I did that too when I was working. But okay, so what you see up here now is my master website, rickdeutsch.com, and under it I have 4. This is actually off one of my business cards. So if people want to learn about speaking on cruises, they can go to that. I do a lot of Half Dome, Yosemite National Park. They can go to that website. Nordic Walking is walking with poles for fitness, which is another thing that we can talk about. I actually teach that on Crystal cruise ships. Crystal Cruise Line is the #1 rated line the last 19 years. And boy, did I luck out. So I started out giving talks on there and kind of segued into this Nordic Walking thing. So we have poles on both of their ships. We get to go out twice a year to check up the program. This whole speaking thing is a really good deal. And then in the bottom right, I call enrichment talks. I right now have 34 talks on this laptop, and I have regular gigs. I have 10 gigs a month in the Bay Area talking to companies, associations, retirement centers, that kind of a thing. And it's good to get out there and talk. Anybody speak formally kind of in here? Oh, yeah, great. Do you get paid? I mean, can you help me out? No, I'm not up there. I'm still down at this stuff. But what I recommend is places like Rotary, Kiwanis, Lions Club. They always need speakers, and you get a lunch, big deal. But the point is you're practicing your talks, and you're meeting people. When I give a talk, I introduce myself like shorter than this. But people come up and say, my wife would like to talk on a cruise ship. I get business out of that. So I do consulting in that as well. So so that's roughly who I am. I live in San Jose near Los Gatos and just having fun. This really changed my life here, to be honest with you. This was in the 90s. This book, Do What You Love, The Money Will Follow. And you see her name there, Marcia Sinitar. It's an old book now, admittedly. But I don't read a whole lot. Magazines is about it. But occasionally I'll pick a book up. Well, I read this one, and it was really cool because it basically said, get good at something. Be the expert in whatever you're going to do, and you can actually make money off of that. Her example was pottery. Let's say that you like to, do your pottery, making vases and stuff like that. She says, get good at it. Get really good. Practice, take the lessons and all that. Then occasionally there's fairs where you can show your products. And in time, people will know that you got your stuff together. You can start teaching it. And then, just hang in there. And what you love, you can generate money. So that was in my mind. Okay, in 2006, I got laid off. And, unemployment. Oh, God, how embarrassing. Thank you for the welfare state we had back then. But by that time, I was really hiking Half Dome. And I'm not going to dwell on that, but it's really a tough hike. We go up the backside. Have anybody done Half Dome? You look like you're... Okay, well, I can help you with that, too. No, I don't push anybody to do it. I've done it 40 times. 40 times. And I'll show you the book that I wrote. But I told my wife, I'm not getting another job. I'm done working for the man. We don't have kids. Okay, I know that's a major factor, but in my life, it's provided me with a lot of time and places to go. I've been to Machu Picchu, Galapagos, Great Wall, Mount Fuji, pyramids, Taj Mahal, blah, 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 blah. So I've done a lot of stuff. Luckily, I took photos, 35 millimeter back then, so I had to buy a converter, but I turned those into talks, and those are a lot of what my talks are. So anyway, this book was key, and I started into the speaking gig. My wife isn't an adventurer like I am. She knits, so if anybody knits, I can link you up with somebody. But the one thing we enjoyed together was cruising. We did with our own money, about 5 cruises, the Baltic, Mediterranean. And the beauty is, people have cruised, not too many of you. It's a hoot. In the beginning, I said, I don't want to do that. I want to fly to Italy and, then fly back. But, okay, being the great husband that I am, 31 years now, the beauty is all your luggage is in one spot. You don't have to back up, get the rental car, get the train or whatever, and you go to some really good tourist places. So, I'm not going to rattle all these places out, but wow, my bucket list, I have a written bucket list, and I wrote it 25 years ago, and I've carried it to work every day. My point is, if you don't write it down, point at your head, time goes by, 5 years later, you haven't seen the pyramids. Someday I want to see the pyramids. Well, 5 years later, I want to see the pyramids. Well, unless you write it down and look at it and say, next June, I'm going to the pyramids. My contention is someday never comes. You just get older. You just get older. But by writing it down, when I did Half Dome in 1990, I said, wow, this is a life-changing thing. I've always wanted to raft the Grand Canyon. I booked it with some buddies the very next June. I've done it 3 times now. And that's me. So I got into the speaking thing. And I told my wife, I can give those talks. Now, I was in marketing, and I like to yada yada, as you can probably tell. And it worked out. And I was able to do that now 8 years, and I get about 2 to 3 cruises a year. So speaking is very important to your platform, as we say. So don't blow it off, because no matter what you're doing, you're going to have to talk to people, give presentations on your product line, or start doing YouTubes, things like that. So I decided, in order for this to work, I got to be a thought leader. Well, you see my first book there. That was self-published. And self-publishing was fun. I just wanted to do it. I paid almost $2,000 for the company to hold my hand. They do the cover, they give you choices, they edit it, they do ISBN numbers. Okay, because I didn't know what to do. Well, self-published, it doesn't sell very well because no distributor is going to pick it up. Most distributors want half of the list price. So this book was $10 on Amazon, and I would sell it at REIs. I started giving talks on this at REIs, and I'd sell it, my wife would sell it in the back. Distributors would want it for $5. I could get them for $7 to my door, so dumb idea. But I just wanted to do it, okay? So after about 1.5 years, I said, this is kind of dumb. So I went up to Berkeley, and there's a company called Wilderness Press, and they liked the self-published book. They said, we do kayaking, rock climbing, all this adventure stuff. We were thinking of a Half Dome book. I said, well, I've done it 15 times by then, and let's work together. So we turned that into the book you see here. We're now in our 2nd edition. As Bill says, we've sold, I think, 12,000 copies. And by the way, you're not going to make money as an author. I'll be totally open with you. You're going to get about 12% of the list price. That stinks. Which means if it gets sold through REI or the park, I get about $1. Somebody's getting a lot of money, right? But the beauty is it's a credential. It has opened so many doors for me. The cruise ship thing, I teach adult ed, all these talks I do. If you're thinking of doing a book, get on with it, okay? I doubt anybody reads it on the cruise ship that I gave it to, but they have to approve it, you know, but it's a good idea. So I continued on being this thought leader or just an expert in what I'm doing. And that's the rock right there. That's the front side of Half Dome. And what we do, I don't climb the big wall. It's 2,000 vertical feet. But I go up the back side and up, and at the very tippy top, there's some cables that you pull yourself up. It's extremely scary. But for those that are scared, and I guide hikes to do this, it's got every 10 feet, there's a pipe holding the cables up and a board. Just go between the two boards. Now, my young friend here went up with me one time. It was a challenge. Now, I didn't say, Bill, you can't do it, but he said, I'm going to do it. So we trained, and by gosh, we did it. It was a great time. It was a really fun time. It was a great goal, which ties into what you guys are doing. You got to have these goals to go after. And you probably only can do it once. You're probably not going to do it 40. But who knows? I just loved it, okay? So notice in the middle of that picture, that little button says Mr. Half Dome. Okay, that's my brand. You should have a brand, okay? And that's how I present myself, Mr. Half Dome, because that's pretty cool.
The traffic professor.
The traffic professor, yeah. So think it's something clever that they can identify with you on. And it's just been a lot of fun. So with that background, I started a website, okay? Now this site is very popular. I probably get about 300 hits a day. And I write something, I try every day, every other day, okay? And I have some inside information because I know the superintendent, the search and rescue people. So if something happens.
The red button will hide that. The red one at the top.
Okay.
That was slide.
Okay. I know some people that give me kind of inside information. So what really hits is if somebody falls. And not that many people have died off Half Dome. Don't believe it if they tell you. 3 have fallen to their death during the summer when the cables are up. That's it. But let's not dwell on that. The point is,
2 of those 3.
well, 2 are weather related. They go up in the rain and the rocks slick. The other fellow had heat exhaustion and fatigue. But anyway, that aside, this website is the one. Okay. Now I checked it today on the Google Analytics, and it's number 3 in the searches. It's behind the National Park Service and Wikipedia. Good luck there. But I also have 2 other products that I put up there. One I'm going to show you. It's a head-mounted camera going up these cables, and that's got 157,000 views on YouTube. And I have another one. I have a Half Dome app, app. So I did it for free. I did it. I got paid to do it for this company in Palo Alto, but it's free for download. All of that is my persona of being Mr. Half Dome. And I'd recommend, if you don't do it yet, become a business in what you're doing. I'm not a tax advisor, but my guy is happy with what I'm doing. I got a small business. I'm a sole proprietor. I've got a business license to resell products, reseller's license. I'm an LLC. So if I get audited, I have all the trappings of an honest business. I'm trying to make a profit, and I just kind of do. But anything that I get, laptops, hiking boots, trips on my cruise, they're all tied into my general SIC code, standard industry code, outdoor adventure books and related. Okay, if you can, think about that. Become a real business. Okay, so there was the website, and as you look on the right side, it says, watch this little video of me talking to get that free Half Dome app. And I get almost thousands of people that want to see this because it's very good and it's free. You can put it on your smartphone. You're welcome also to do that. This is actually the app, and this is just another quiver in my bow and arrow thing, or arrow in my quiver, I guess that's the correct phrase. But you can see when you go to every trail, they solicit people who do hiking, and if you take pictures and do your route with your GPS, they will post it on there. And the thing is, this is free for people, okay? This comes up #1 if you go to every trail, which is now owned by TripAdvisor. This is when you go to my site, my page. Take a look at the arrow. If you can read that, it's had 286,000 times people have viewed this. Holy cow. That's great. Okay, then I go through the description and I actually tell what the hike's like. Now, I do this a lot, right? This is 2009 in June. These fellas are from Scotland, and they are search and rescue. They got a hold of me, and I took them up. And look at this weather. When the rock is wet, it's a death wish. So this is called the visor. It's right at the point. It's a great photo. But this cloud moved in. Oh my gosh. We got down as the cloud moved away, and that was the day a man fell. It started to hail, which is 32 degrees. 40 people were stuck on the cables. This guy lost it and fell to his death.
So how many people did you take up and how many people did you
This is being recorded now, Bill. Let's keep it clean. But my point is, I got calls when I got home. I got a call in my car from radio stations, KGO, because they Googled me. They found me, through this outbound marketing, and they're finding a guy that can say something about Half Dome. So what was also really cool is they had a crew come to my house. So I got this call from the producer in San Francisco for the evening news at whatever time they went on at 5 o'clock, and they had a van come by. So I ran out of my house and put my hiking clothes back on, and I backed up against some bushes, so it looks like we were in the mountains. But that was kind of cool. So they recorded me, and I was on the evening news, and there you go. That's ABC, Channel 30 in Fresno picked me up. I got the whole video, but you kind of get the idea. So I'm giving my, well, this and that, this and that. And a little while later, the Oakland Museum had what they call a John Muir Day. John Muir was the great conservationist that helped make Yosemite a national park. So you can see how formal it is. Well, I was asked to give a presentation there. And so I did. And I was interviewed by Channel 7 up there. So the point is, I'm becoming the expert every day, doing more and more to become the expert. Now, what I did in light with this, to make this more expansive, there's a big trade show in Salt Lake every August. It's called Outdoor Retailer. Every company that sells anything related to the outdoors goes to this. Sleeping bags, tents, boots, and everything. So I go to that, and I get in. It's industry only, but I get in through my publisher, and I sign some books, but then I have 2 days to do what the heck I want. I brought this, printed this out. If you can't read it from there, I was pursuing an advertising program for my website. In the top half of the page, which you see here, I told how great I was, how many hits I got, how many people go to my website, just to establish my credibility, okay? This is the bottom half, and I said, I think it'd be great for your company to sponsor me. Okay, so the first 3 items there are on my website. These are sponsorships to get little buttons, little pictures, product reviews that I would do. But for us here tonight talking about YouTube, if you can read the last one, for $400, I said Rick will produce, edit, and post a 7-minute YouTube video of him using and promoting the product. Filming will be done in 720p high definition. Sponsor will review and approve the video draft before final production. Product content to be provided upon booking of project. Rick will provide a link to the sponsor's website, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Bill?
back up to how many hits and
Oh, yeah, sure. Sure. Okay, now this is old, Bill.
Yeah, that's okay. So 52K, 111K, and whatnot. The reason I asked him to back up because I have a forum. If you guys aren't in the forum, I don't know why. Somebody new and I'm just in there. And one of those girls in Singapore says, how come I'm not making any money? So I got a Google Analytics account. She gets about 10 people a day. That's why she's not making any money. So if you don't have some numbers here, right, Rick? If you don't have some numbers to show people, you're not going to get anywhere. That's why I wanted to.
No, that's great. And I didn't want to emphasize a whole lot, but back then I sold 10,000 books. Let me get the cursor a little bit so you can kind of see that. 10,000 books there. Look at the unique visitors. 28,000 back in 2012. Now this was only half a year, so 2013 wasn't a total full year yet. I do the Facebook thing. Back then I had 700 or so fans. I got close to 900 now. And okay, what else? The YouTube, as you see, I was getting 78,000, etc. And I talk about that. So I'm establishing my credence with these guys, that I'm the guy. I have people that follow me. If you advertise or play with me, you will get hopefully some more business. So you may want to think about this type of an idea for what you're doing. Go to the industry shows for golf. I'm sure, Bob, you probably do that, and schmooze. Bring business cards. Don't just talk to the people you know already. Get out and reach out and, interact. Be gregarious? No. Be gregarious.
That's a great point, Bob. See, Bob, if you have Bob on golf, serious as a heart attack, you could get a test pass. I've been to the U.S. Open a couple of weeks, and then I got a test pass. I went there a couple of times, and I hang out with golfers. I don't know nothing. I didn't go back anymore. Totally, legitimately within your reach to be able to do that sort of thing. And then once you go once, they open up more doors. I know the guy who runs AT&T, the AT&T golf course. When the time comes, show them your website. I'll introduce you to him, and off you go.
Yeah.
If I remember right,
You didn't have a booth. You just went around to the other booths with this, right?
I Xeroxed like 100 copies of what you're seeing right here on yellow paper. Hi, I'm Rick Deutsch, and you know what I do? I wrote this book here. I mean, Yosemite's a big deal.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that, which, okay. And what I'd like to do is this, blah, 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 blah. Can I call you when I get back, exchange cards? Because they got thousands of people coming in to see them. And it's for buyers and manufacturers. It's not for me. It's consumers aren't allowed in there at all. But I got in through my publisher. So, yeah, that's what I did, is walk around like that. So when I get home, I've got a notebook, right, of everything guys that I met. There's also one in Sacramento that I go to. I do the same thing up there. But the Bonus Salt Lake is, 400,000 people show up for that. But, yeah.
Well, I it didn't cost you a lot. You have to rent the booth space.
Oh, no booth. You're out. Those booths will kill you. Then you're standing there just giving away free candy. This way, I could go to the companies that I knew would link up with me, and many did. So I have posted on the right side of my website. If you want to go to that, you can go to my card has rickdeutsch.com. That's the mothership, and then you can go to whatever expertise you want. But as you see, $400, and I got 3 companies to do it.
So Rick is a good talker. You can see that. But he's also really good at what he does. And if you're really good at what you do, why wouldn't you want to tell people? So I've known Rick for a long time. He's not salesy. He's just good at what he does, and he loves talking about that. And there's nothing wrong with loving to talk about what you love to do. And that's there's an infection there. It catches on. And so if you're good at what you do and you've got numbers to support what you're going to do, why won't you tell people about it? And Rick's just able to do that because it's part of who he is.
Well, I like being enthusiastic. And that's contagious. It really is. I mean, I talked about, oh my God, yeah, let's do it. Let's, like that. So you got to love what you're doing. Do what you love. The money will follow. Don't try to do something because somebody said, oh, you should do left-handed frivets, man. You're going to make a lot of money on that, You got to like what you're doing. Okay? So, all right, just the point is, the whole talk was how to make money on YouTube. And we're still moving along. There's a lot more to learn here. What I'd suggest first, if you want to get into this, it's a little effort. First, build a YouTube channel. Okay, Google owns YouTube now. So if you got a Google Gmail account, you basically get in there. But you've got to build this channel. And what I'm going to do is, that's mine when you come to me. Actually, 122 people subscribed. Way to go. 182,000 views just of my channel. Well, that's a lot of faces that see me. All right. What I'm going to do now is move this aside a little bit, and I'm going to let you take a look at what I hope will come up. There you go. So this right here, and I'll expand it a little, is my channel. So what it does, if you're not familiar with that, once you create a YouTube with your camera and your tools, you can upload it to YouTube, and I believe you get 15 minutes for free. If you go longer than that, you got to pay them something. 15 is more than anybody wants to watch. So you try to keep them, short and sweet. But
you can do them for 15 minutes for a while. Once you've established the fact that you're not a schmuck, they will eventually give you more time. I do presentations up to 45 minutes with them, and they'll let me put them up for free. But you have to establish some rapport over time to do that.
And by the way, you probably see ads now before it opens. And I looked into that. They go after you. You cannot go to Google and say, I'd like to put an ad on my site. They don't. I mean, they have to somehow with their system recognize which YouTubes are getting watched, like Gangnam Style with Psy, 2 billion views. So if you wondered about that, I don't think you can make money personally on thinking you're going to sell ads on yours. But anyway, this is what my channel looks like. Let me just come down a little bit. This first one is one that I'll show you, and it was for a water filter company. And look at the views, 7,900 views. So I'm hoping the company appreciates that, because people that come to me, Rick, what kind of water filter do you use? Well, here you go. I'm going to show you. I wouldn't do this if I didn't believe and use this product. Okay, the next one under that is my half-dome cables going all the way up. And this is great, 157,000 views. Wow, and I'll show you that one, and I'll show you a trick when I get to that. This one here, I said, what the heck is this doing on my site? Some guy playing the drums. It turns out this is the commercial to 6 other YouTubes that are buried under it, and that's why the commercial shows up. I wanted to delete it, but I have apparently that commercial in front of some others. And as you can see, I did a flyover of Half Dome in a private plane, and then I have some on the speaking world. So I do YouTubes for people that are applying to speak on cruise ships, because you need an audience. So Anyway, like I say, just kind of spin down. You can see all the different YouTube. Yes, sir. Which one?
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're going to show Bill. We're going to show you. All right.
So you have super training in how to make a YouTube video.
Oh, yeah, and I'm going to talk about that. Yep.
All right.
Yep. But it's not super training because I figured it out. You know?
Exactly. That's where I'm headed here.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I just want to show you that particular page. Now, I think we'll go back.
You have a quick Deutsch user up there?
What?
I see he didn't. I see he has half done, but he's personalized his.
Yeah, this was in the way beginning when I started my first one,
Yeah.
and I didn't know, and YouTube's come back and says, wouldn't you rather be called Rick Deutsch?
Yeah.
I said, yeah, do it, but
Much
I haven't seen it change yet. Okay, so well, I'll talk to you later. Okay, so let's go back to big screen here.
So YouTube allows you to put ads?
No, you can't put it. Well, you can do anything you want in the content, okay? But the ads, when you open YouTube to watch the America's Cup video or something that you want to watch, it'll spill an ad at you that goes for like 30 seconds.
No, so your ads, like your sponsor, you're advertising for this.
Yeah,
Water
I'm going to show you that.
They let you do that.
Yes.
Yes.
You don't have to pay them.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Are you getting paid from YouTube?
Not a penny. I get paid from the company that I did it for.
But YouTube isn't giving water filter.
No. Yes, I got $400 from the water filter company to produce a real-world testimonial from a human, not some Hollywood production thing. And I tell people how to use it. I mean, I'm down there everything. If you watch a commercial or something they did, it's so fluffy and, you know, cutesy-wootsy with good models and all that, and they don't really tell you how to clean the thing, how to do this and that. So, yes, sir.
They make Rick wear a bikini.
I was a thong. Actually, it was a thong. So, but I can wear them, Bill.
Okay, yeah. Right. I can overlap with it.
Yeah, Bob.
Are any of your videos used on the websites of the company to make the
Yes. Yeah, question is, does anybody use those YouTube? Sure, when I'm finished, I sent it back to them and I said, I'm done, use it. So yes, yeah, I've gone to their websites and clicked and it's there, which is the whole idea.
Right.
Yeah, let's spread it around. Yeah.
It's clicked it 157,000 times. So
Right.
that's how the company's got so many views.
Okay, what I'm going to show you now is one that I did. It's called Half Dome Cables All the Way Up. That's the big deal now. It's really done well, 157,000 views. So I think it's good to actually see it. Let me get it up here. No, this is just showing my talent for doing YouTubes. You will see how hard this hike is and why it's a big deal. So there's my credits. Yes, I do. It was working in rehearsal. I'm all good. Oh, I know. I bet this went to mute. No, it's on.
Computer muted?
No. I'm on the outside. These are my gloves that you see. Okay. It's a GoPro camera, yes. And because of what I was doing, they gave me free ones. So I approached them when they were 5 people. They're over 300 now, kicking butt. They just went public. I told them what I was doing, and I said, you have a head mount camera. And the guy said, well, we have a prototype strap. And he said, we'll lend it to you for the week. So I borrowed that. A year later, when they came out with the wide-angle one, I got one of those for free. And then I got, not the latest one now, but the wide-angle HD one. That's another thing you get, is freebies from companies. I get free boots. I get free hiking poles. I get free water filters. Yeah, I'm all plugged in. It was working when I started it, you know, when we were rehearsing. Well, it's a 45-degree incline, and it's 600 feet on the diagonal.
Yeah, you got this one, got this one. Why don't you unplug and see if we can get out of your computer?
No, it's going to HDMI. It's going out of HDMI. Yes, everything's been turned up. Oh, did that thing die? Because there's no rules. You're in the wilderness here. Okay? And you can do what you want. And the granite cable system's been there since 1919. It's like marble. It's not sandpaper granite anymore. Okay? And the granite is still good on the outside. You can see those rubber sticky gloves I use, and I'm in pretty good shape. I get up in 12 minutes. The people waiting in line for the slugs to move can take them 45 minutes to an hour. That's much harder when you're hanging on a 45-degree incline. Yes, no?
No good.
Okay, I can talk through it. It's fine. It's mostly just seeing. Well, I didn't bring a heart rate monitor. No, hey, if you had the audio, you'd hear me huffing. And you see me stopping occasionally, too. It's hard. Bill, is it hard?
Yep.
Very hard. But when you get to the top, the views you're going to get and the sense of accomplishment, you get to buy the T-shirt and all that stuff. So this is kind of what I do, you know. But
You didn't really go up there.
I did. I got.
no, he did. I can show you pictures. He did. No, he did good. You buy them at Ace Hardware for $5. Yeah, they're Atlas Model 370. I found them about 3 years ago. They are the best. They're great.
Their cable, they got little spinners on the cable. No gloves. Ouch.
Well, actually, they don't have splitters.
Well, not. I mean, they're cable spinners. I mean. No. Well, I've been not on here, but I've been cable spinners.
Well, yeah. No, here these are actually pretty good cables. They were put up in 1919, replaced 1934 and 1984. But again, I don't want to dwell too much on this. I'm just trying to show you what a homemade video looks like.
Okay.
Okay?
Now notice the bottom right corner. What do you
What do
see?
you see?
HikeHalfDome.com. Guess
Guess
what?
what?
How many
How many
thousands of people saw this? And they
And
all saw that web address. If I just left it blank,
what's the call to action? What's the follow-up?
by looking at
at
that, many, I hope, go to the website and buy a book. I have a link for my book to Amazon on the website. That's the ultimate steed. No, I did this for the fun of it. This is great. I've never seen a YouTube of people going up in one shot under 15 minutes. They all turn it off because they can't do it in 15 minutes. I'm an egotist, but I'm proud that I can do it. Okay. So that's all I wanted to show you on this one here.
Is that URL? Take a look at one on the screen.
No,
It's a video, so you can't click on it.
I'm sorry, can't hear you.
How do you get it on video?
That's a trick that I show you when you edit your movies. And I'll talk about that at the end. Because there is skill required. I knew nothing about a year ago. And I'll tell you now, I use iMovie. I bought a separate Mac just for my movie editing. All the other business stuff is on this Windows.
Do you have Google Analytics on HikeHalfDome? I'm sure you do, right?
Yes.
Well, at some point, you and I'll go take a look, and I can tell you how many people actually click through on that.
All right. This video often comes up number 2 occasionally. Believe it or not, a video from YouTube. Higher than my website. Okay, so let me move on here a bit. I'll go back to the talk.
I don't know why it sounds.
I don't know why the sound was working when you guys were sitting down. Maybe you controlled it?
No, it's working here.
Oh, turn my speaker on. I'm an attendee, maybe? Try that.
No, I did that. Are you muted? That's a good. There you go. It's going to be. Oh, go ahead. Open up this thing on the side. No, there's no control panel on the side. Here.
That's great.
People can hear you. Okay, we're good. I was going to say, I'm going to do something YouTube. I'm doing this. Nobody can hear it. I don't know.
Well, work in rehearsal, folks.
Okay, so there's that one.
Now,
this one was a dream come true. This is a video that I took of a private airplane last August flying over Half-Dome. I have a buddy who's a pilot. We flew out of Hayward Airport. Went up to Yosemite and we circled Half-Dome. It was a hoot. Yes, it's legal. You just have to be 2,000 feet above anything you're going to do. And this is really great, in my opinion. So let me.
The third time around, he lost his. No, okay.
What's the elevation?
8,900. Close to
9,000. So you got to be 11,000 above it.
No,
it's not bad when you're hiking it, to be honest with you.
Okay. This again is a freebie. But this one I only released it like a week and a half ago. I think it's got 300 hits now. And it's just kind of a viral thing. We're getting no audio, but that's me.
Keep talking.
Well, if we weren't recording this, we'd probably stop and start all over again. Okay, so I'll just keep going. All I'm saying here is we're going to fly over Half-Dome. Let's get going. So this is a little transition. Going away from that. Here's Stills, the guy that was the pilot, Kim. Here he is, running up the engines, and we're ready to fly over it. Here we are flying over the windmills over in Livermore. And just a few skills in the beginning. And now we're approaching Yosemite. There's the foothills coming. Okay, now we're actually in motion here. So I had my HD video camera and my still camera right next to each other, looking out the window. And I had to edit quite a bit because of the jerky, you know, when I'm moving around and stuff. But that's the wing of the airplane, and you'll see soon we're going to dip down. Now, the beauty of this is a lot of people have no clue what half dome looks like. They come out from Indiana, from France. All they've seen is the still pictures like on the back of my laptop. So by giving something extra, this is a strong value for the expert to share. Notice the bottom right corner again. Okay, like half dome. There is half dome. You're not going to see this view very often, trust me, because if you're in a commercial aircraft, it's too teeny weeny, or the plane flies right over it. The pilot doesn't look at it. But let me just I'll go forward just a little bit. Oh, there you go. That's a great shot down there. So if you can see the cursor, this is a bump right here. It goes up 400 vertical feet. It's granite carved steps. Very hard to do. Then the cable route is right there in the middle. Right about here. This vertical face is 2,000 feet. Big wall climbers take 3 to 4 days to go up the top here. Now we just hike around the back side and come up this way on the left side and on up to the top. But we go back the same way we went up. You can take the express route and just go over this way.
You sit down on your backside.
No, you're hiking here 7 miles to get to this point.
Yeah.
And then you go up these cables and stay on top about an hour, and then you come back down the cables, and then you hike 7 miles back down. So it's about an 11-hour, roughly, round trip. I've guided people it's taken 17 hours. Yeah. So take a look at that shot. I mean, I just love looking at this thing myself. The audio is just, airplane running anyway. So that's kind of a strong value that you could do for your particular product. Just do some videos, be creative, get out there and make something. And the editing of Apple is easy as pie. I tried it on my Windows, and they expect you to work for NBC to do theirs. This is on an Apple, yes.
You flew on an Apple?
No, I'm filming it with an HD camera, and then I download it to my Apple MacBook. I edit it using iMovie, and then from there I load it to YouTube. And then it plays on anything. So let me go more towards the end, and I'll show you some stuff at the end. Okay, so I'm kind of winding up. There's the valley for those that have been in Yosemite. You can kind of see the big valley carved out. I mean, it's really quite exciting. So now as we're winding up, I segued into some stills.
You said you just used your iPhone for that one?
No, I have an HD, like a what do they call it? Flip camera? I don't remember what it's called. It's a Kodak. It looks like a cell phone, kind of. But it's a dedicated still or video HD camera. Okay, so these are the end. I used PowerPoint to create these slides. These are stills now coming up in the video. To show people that aren't that familiar with a lot of the terms we use for some of these things. Okay, that's just a bit gesture. I love that shot. And it looks a lot different here than it does to me when I'm hiking it. Show you where the cables are. Okay, right here. Now watch the next slide. These are actually hikers going up. This is our cable route pulling themselves up. Okay, and this helps people understand the terminology that we use. So this is kind of fun. And on my still pictures, I put my copyright on it. On all still pictures, once you post it on the web, it ain't yours anymore. It's going elsewhere. Somebody can reproduce it and sell it, whatever. But if you embed using Photoshop or other tricks, your copyright, if they reuse it, then they got to give you credit. I know anybody can take it off Photoshop, but you got to keep at least the honest people on it. So coming towards the end, let me show you. Okay, this is kind of fun here. So we have lunch in Columbia. Here we are at Diablo, heading home, and back to reality. Okay. So the next thing that's fun to do is play with this, and end of a perfect day is your credits. Okay, so my credits are going to roll up. Yosemite's half dome flyover. Okay, pilot's name. I did the video. Okay, Moonbeams. There's a music on here that is sun on a piano, composes and performs. Sorry you can't hear it. It's very good.
I bet it's because we're recording the thing. go to webinar wall.
Is it recording my voice? I don't know. You're right.
George
Anderson was the first guy to summit in 1875.
I tell them to read my book. So as they're looking at this, I tell them to go to my website. Okay, absolutely no copacetic effects were used in the making of this video. That's a total BS statement. I got it from Frank Zappa. What's a copacetic? But he says that at the end of one of his.
But he says that.
See you on top, Mr. Half Dome.
See you on top, Mr. Half Dome.
Free, but
okay.
Boy, I hope this
blog,
okay,
draws people.
Okay. And please ask questions as we go along.
Please ask questions as we go along here.
Go back to the big view.
Go back to
How much
the
was I
big
getting?
view.
How much
It's included with the MacBook.
It's included with the
was
MacBook.
already on there?
Yeah.
Already on there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I want to show you this.
Now I want to show you this is
from my
water candid and water filter,
black
which is
thing
this black thing
in the middle.
Here in the middle.
So I'll just show you.
This was a $400 event.
And
okay. Go back.
Did you drive all the way to Yosemite to take that? Do that?
Well, let me show you.
Oh, this is a different one here. Go to this.
Okay. Catadine Vodka Pro water filter, Mr. Half Dome. Ooh, ah. You can't hear the audio, but this kind of looks like in the mountains. However, I'm at Los Gatos Creek. My wife is the cameraman, and there's one of the shots we have ducks going by. It's kind of funny, but okay, this is better than my backyard. But I'm giving a little introduction why you should treat water. You don't want to get giardia and get really bad diarrhea, etc. So I give a little front end. I talk about competitive ways to treat water, iodine pills, things like that, yada, yada, yada. Okay, now I'm getting into the actual product. Comes in a little case. So I tell how convenient it is. I pull it out. Show people there's still picture I embed. So you can see it up close. You know, talk about how it all gets put together. So it's an instructional kind of a thing. Let's see. There's the actual water filter itself. Okay, and then you kind of get the idea. So I'm down there, actually pumping the water.
But did you drink it when you were done?
Oh yeah. The water's kind of the filters work great. So here I am just filling up a bit, and to prove that I'm really drinking it. Tastes great. Okay. So anyway, at the end, it's all about here. Okay, so I say it's available everywhere. And that's the picture of the box.
They let you do that on YouTube?
You're watching it, ma'am. Okay, there's my credits. They're easy to do. $84. Nationwide.
All right, so you get this water filter thing in the mail, and you go down to the creek, and Diane, you do a couple of takes, and finally you're done, and you go back and you edit. How long does that take you all?
Editing takes a long time because you take a lot of raw footage. Well, I did this like 3 times over.
Yeah.
Tell you one time, oh, great. And there's a soccer game on the other side of the tree. Can't do that. Or there's people riding bikes up and down the trail. Even with that, it takes, you get a lot of raw, and then you have to go through, watch the raw, find out what you want. iMovie lets you move things around, and you can do voiceovers. You can put music in, which is sad you can't hear it. Maybe when we log off here, I'll just play it directly. But, okay, how to get into this one. So go ahead and get that. So you kind of get the idea.
Does it take 10 hours, 100 hours, 5 hours?
I'd say
if you
start to finish 4 maybe. And I'm learning as I go.
So $400, 4 hours?
About. I'd say so. Apple is great. The Apple Store is great. The young people will do it for you. You go down there, and I'm going, I don't know how to embed the picture or do the Ken Burns effect and all that. Oh, let's go here, do this, do that. It's well worth that, in my opinion. It's very good. My house has I have Wi-Fi. It will not upload to YouTube. It's just too big. I've tried and it dies. So I go to the Apple Store, bring my stuff in, and I just tell them I'm going to use iMovie and load it to YouTube. And your Wi-Fi screams. So I just sit there for about 20 minutes while it sorts it all out, and then it posts it. So that's why I'm recommending an Apple. It was worth it to get the MacBook. For me, it was worth it to get the MacBook. And it's fun. I got to tell you, it's really fun. I got to tell you, it's really fun. What I'm going to show you now is some things. I'll wrap this one up. But I've done one for this company. It's an insole company. And I talk about having cushy insoles to support your boots. which is great. Okay, now let me go back to the big screen here. This is the enterprise that Bill and I work together on. SpeakOnCruises.com, and you get good cruises too. So this is kind of our little banner and stuff like that. So this is our website. So I don't know if you guys have gone there. Bill's the techie on this, and put together. We have a stream of photos. These are my photos. This is a room that you can get on a cruise ship just to enhance people. Okay, now look at the top here. We have our homepage, about us, the blog. Bill and I write something every day. We alternate, even in odd days. And we are pretty far ahead, I think, for at least
the end of the month.
Yeah, 2 weeks ahead. For a while back in the fall, we were doing 3 a day. 3 blogs a day. And if you blog anything about lecturing on ships, or how do I speak on a ship, we're going to come up really high. And that's how we get a lot of our business. Because on our website, I don't think I have a picture of Bill, but at the end of every blog, we say, if you'd like to learn more about doing this, or we'd love to meet with you, click here, contact us. That takes it to a little fill-in-the-blank thing. Bill gets that, and Joe Schmo in Kansas. I'm very interested in speaking on ships. Phone number and email.
Does it work?
I call them back. Calling is better than sending an email. We've had, 164 inquiries in less than a year, right? Yeah, since about a year. 164. Now, most things in life, I'm sure in this room as well, only 20% of the people will do what Bill says to do. That's the way it works when you take seminars and classes. 20% actually hear it and implement it, okay? But yes, when we talk to the people, explain what we're doing, we convert. Many of those people say, that's great, I want to do that. And we provide strong value. We charge for it. But we help people come up with their topics. We can YouTube them. I film people, and I make their 8-minute YouTube for them, and I'll show you those in a second. So this has worked. This has worked really well. And you want to comment more on the website?
Are you going to meet anybody this week?
Oh, thank you, Bill. Yeah, I've got 3 clients. I'm going to Bill's old church.
Where we used to have the meeting.
Yeah, on Wednesday, and I got another guy on the East Coast, Baltimore, and a third guy I have my schedule. And I do the 2-hour person-to-person go-to-webinar, just like we're doing here. With me talking, him talking, and seeing my slides.
We got an inquiry from Nashville today. I get it. It ends up my spam filter. I don't know why, so I have to look in there. Send info, I forward it on the Rick calls them up. It just works. If you wait. That's right. Thank you, Bianca.
I asked, I don't really make a point out. How'd you hear about us? Well, I was blogging. I went on the website because I was not doing this, and you guys came up. Honestly, that's great. We are the only ones that do this, by the way. We are not an agency. We're not part of Cruise Line. We're just a couple guys that know how to do it. There's a process to apply. There's things to say, how to have your presentations and all that.
And interview, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to show you now is Uncle Bill.
Hey!
Let's get you up here.
Everybody getting naked and rolling around on the ground here.
All right, take it easy.
All right, let's see. You're right here.
Yeah, I can't help that.
Now, you can't hear the audio, but this is on your Azamura trip to Nice, France, right?
Yep.
Okay, this shows you what the venue looks like, so people that are inquiring us, we will send them this YouTube and show them this is what it's like. So I edited this as well for Bill. His wife took it with a video
iPhone.
Yeah. So he talks about Silicon Valley, these are all the founders. That's his audience, a little panning, so that you can get some idea what the venue's like if you're talking. Okay. Now this talk was 45 minutes easily, so I had all the raw footage, and that's what takes a lot of time. Is finding out what you want to use, finding out what you want to position, where he's good.
That's really hard to find.
Right. See how he's inhaling, sucking it up. But he has some sequences where people are laughing and applauding. That's good to put in there too. So what I did is I came up with about 8 minutes. And that's what the agencies and the cruise lines want to see. So again, this is just his wife, and she's very steady. I mean, she's not jiggling at all. And so he goes through, and just speed it up a little bit. Got a little bit of his talk. And he's very animated, walk around, does a great job. Let's get to some of your slides here. Okay. So she's got a couple pictures, so, we want to do this. People want to do this. No bullets, what they look like. Images, that kind of thing. Let's see what we got towards the end here.
Is that your graphic in the back? Yeah, it's a page.
Yeah, it's Bill's.
Oh, this is one of my presentations. Why did you realize that?
So of course the lights have to be down for this light
to
to
come out at
this
this point.
Okay, we can go down a bit more. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm taking the greatest clips and fading in, fading out. I put some still pictures that I think I just over in there anyway. Okay, so now here's wrapping up, and this is where the applause comes in. He goes back there. Okay, so we fade out. Now I got some stills. The Ken Burns effect is what you're seeing right now. The slow zoom in, zoom out. He's a great film producer. And that's how we get all of them. So this is what people would send to the agency to get in and do that. Okay, so and it was fun. I mean, it was fun for me to do it. I'm sure it was fun for Bill to do it. Now here's another one. This is I sailed from Singapore to Cape Town. And Bill, I got to introduce this guy yet, and I will. Rob Caskey used to live with the Zulus. Okay, and I did this for him after the cruise.
And he's in Cape Town, which is where I'm going next month. That's why he wants to introduce me.
So I told him I will do a video for you, Rob. He's a great guy. Too bad you can't hear this now, because the cruise director is introducing Rob. This is his third talk. He talks about the Zulu War with the British. The worst defeat the British ever suffered was in South Africa against the Zulus. A couple great movies about the Zulu Wars. He comes out in shorts, and he thanks the cruise line, which would have been nice to do. So I want to thank the cruise line. The technician was great, the lighting was great. Just a little bit of that. And then he gets into his actual talk, talking about the battles without any props. Well, he does use one prop I want to show you. But no images. And I told him he should have some images showing what Zulu looks like. He carried this stick with him. And he used that as a rifle. He used it as an oar during this talk. And he said later, I use this because this is the all Zulus carry one of these. This is a weapon. They will run you through. I mean, they can use it as a weapon. And just the insight this guy gave. Anyway, just I'm sitting in the audience, which is not the best place to be. To take this and kind of see how it kind of drones on here. But then towards the end, he's finishing up. And then we get into some questions. Let me get to it. Okay, then I put some stills of him at the end, and the same idea. So again, I did all this for him, and I'm awaiting a check to arrive. So. But he had nothing like this. He had nothing like this at all to use. We got along well, so I gave it to him. Hey, all right. And there's a little plug for me at the end there. Okay. So my last one I'm going to show you. This is a woman locally. She lives in Santa Cruz, and she is teaching iPad use. So this is a class that she gives in Santa Cruz. And I came over and put this video together for her. This is kind of in the middle. But I move around, different shots, etc. So and this is $200. Okay. So for people on our cruise program that can't do their own videos, I'll go if they're local, and I'll film them and video them and produce them. I'll film them and video them and produce them. I do all this stuff for $200, which is people are out of state. They send me the raw video. Somebody took of them, and then I build it all up and make it look what we think is presentable to the agency. So how do you make money on YouTube? Well, these are some of the ways. Now, let me wrap up here with a couple more thoughts. Okay, there's Rob. Okay. What do you need to do all this? You need an HD camera. Your cell phones nowadays are pretty darn good. But one thing about the cell phones, they don't have a screw thing at the bottom so you can screw them into a tripod. I know they make attachments. If you wanted to get into this, you got to have it. You can't hold it by hand. It wiggles too much. So some sort of an HD camera. Go ahead and hit the lights because I wanted to show some of the shelf stuff here. You're welcome to come look at it later here. But I'd recommend a tripod. Okay, a real tripod. And they're so cheap at Fry's, $19 a tripod. I also bring a baby tripod in case I'm going on a cruise and I don't want to carry a big one. Cruises often have a couple tripods you can borrow if you're doing a thing on ship. This is really handy to have because I can set this up anywhere. It extends just a little bit. But a tripod should have it.
It's also too. Look at that little thing.
A monopod. This is actually more handy because a tripod. It's kind of awkward when you're moving it. So this is a monopod. And what you do is you see it extends pretty darn far. And it's also got the screw in gizmo at the top here for your camera to screw right in there. And then the person filming you, your wife, girlfriend, or somebody, they just hold up. That's really all you need. And then you can turn like this. And if you've got a moving shot, what I do, I just say click, turn off, and then I may, go over here, take the person aside. You want it steady. Sure, it's going to look really amateurish. And sometimes if you want, you can slowly pick it up, and do. I don't know. Just be creative. Makes different kind of shots. Mono, also pretty cheap. A wireless mic. Gotta have. This is a wireless mic setup. Many of you probably use these where you put one on your belt, and the other one goes into the camera to record the audio. If you're talking right into the camera 6 feet away, it's going to sound amateur. It's going to echo. You hear the dogs barking over there. So you got to invest a little money. I think this was $120 online, and I love it. It's Audio Technica, and get a couple mics, little baby mics. And what you can also do with this, which Bill and I are going to do, this has been too long, is I've got a splitter, so I can take a microphone and put 2 mics into here, so we can interview each other with one system into the mic. Okay, so wireless mic, and I don't like the handheld one high, doing that kind of a thing. If you clip it on the person. And you get extension cords. Well, actually, you don't even need that here. I used to do a corded one. So the person with the camera there, and I got a 12-foot cord. That's you got the money to buy this. But this is really good. Okay, next. Look, you need a cameraman. Yeah.
In your production experience, is it a headache to, take the video deaf and then just do the voiceover when you're?
It depends what you're talking about. This particular.
The reason I'm asking that is because you got all your raw footage, and assuming that you're talking during the raw footage, then you cut yourself off because there's a section of it you don't want.
No, I mix and match. If it's an instructional video, you may want to talk voiceover the whole way, not have anything come off camera, right? Unfortunately, the darn speakers, we think it's because it's picking up and recording here. That's where the audio comes through. But I'll play it if you want to hear it. Going up the cables. Okay, I got some weird music. I say these are the cables that have built. They were put up in 1919, and it's recommended that you wear good boots, and that's my voiceover. Okay. And with the iMovie, you can take the music, bring it down a little bit, and then when I'm not talking, you bring it back up. Or you can bring them both down and go live while I'm talking to people on the cables. I interview. Hey, how's it going? Oh, I'm okay. Where are you from? Detroit. Was this your first time here? And just get a little fun stuff going, and that's live on the camera. And then depending where you're going, you may fade it out. Like when I did his son playing the piano, I wanted some piano. It's really good stuff, So it's up to you what you're doing, and you get the flexibility, and that's where the kids at Apple show you how to do it.
Give me a wrap. I'll turn this off and then we can
play stuff. All right, so cameraman, my wife does it. Okay. Get somebody that you trust.
Camerawoman.
Or camera person. Cue cards. That's a good idea because when the camera, I forgot what I was going to say. So I just get some white butcher paper kind of thing, put some stiffener behind it, prop it up against the tripod so I can kind of, you don't want your eyes to pick up and they can see you going down reading like that. So keep it as close to the camera height as you can. But little bullets are things to remember. Okay, it kills bacteria, viruses. It's good for 200 gallons. All these things you want to make sure you say with cue cards. That's why they do it in Hollywood. And make sure you're in a quiet environment. Like I said, with the soccer team whistling and all that stuff. And rehearse. But it's time-consuming, but I think it's a lot of fun. So I'm kind of growing this particular expertise. A year ago, I couldn't figure out at all what is this. But I think I'm pretty good at it now. So we do videos for people in these cruise ships speaking. I do them for money. I'm still soliciting other companies to do this with. It's a sales job, and you have to convince them I'm a real person. And I'm going to tell people how to use these hiking poles and what it's all about. Okay, I think. Oh, and editing software. If you guys love your PCs, Pinnacle, Movie Maker from Microsoft. What's the third one? But there's a few out there.
There's other free open ones like OpenShot and a bunch of others.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends what you like. I did not like the PC-based ones. I couldn't figure it out. There's too much technical information. I like the iMovie. My brother told me about iMovie. He's a big Mac guy, and I really wasn't. He says, these productions, photos and productions. So that's why I got one. I like iMovie. That's whatever works for you.
Whatever works.
Then the money start rolling in.
Okay, but real loud clap. Yeah.